Check.
Tell me when you want me to go.
And now the starting lineup for your Eastwood Eagles.
Good evening, glad to have you with us here on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13. I'm Norm Weimer along with Mike Bauman tonight. Boys high school basketball tonight. And I'm already going to make my first correction. I said in the open this was the NBC against the NLL. It is not. I'm still stuck when I went to Lake, and Lake was in the Northern Lakes League, and of course Rossford was in the Northern Lakes League at that time. But of course now both teams are in the Northern Buckeye Conference. And the other thing I'm not used to, Mike, is that this is a league game. Second game into the season, it's a league game. I'm used to, late December or really early January before it got into league play. So 2 games in, and you're already into league play.
Yeah, this is a big game for both teams, Norm, especially this early in the season, as you mentioned. I think what's really going to be interesting is the inside play tonight. You've got Nate Childress, Marty Linthicum down low for Rossford. And on the flip side for Eastwood, you've got Zach Jacoby, had 24 points against New Regal, but he's a guy at 6'5" that can also step out, hit the perimeter shot. So it's going to be a fun game to watch as far as the matchups, the transition game, and the turnovers, especially this early in the year.
For Rossford in the backcourt, Ryan Neese, a 5'10 senior, along with Hector Aguirre, a 6'1 senior. Eric Davis, a 6'2 junior in the front court. Big Nate Childress, 6'4 senior, and Marty Linthicum, a 6'5 senior. For Eastwood in the backcourt, Noah Smith, a 5'10 senior, along with Grant Herzl, who's a 5'7 freshman. In the front court, Tim Hudelbrink, a 6'2 senior, along with Zach Jacoby, a 6'5 senior, and Jason Furtick, a 6'4 senior. And we already have our first turnover. A steal and a jumper, no good. The rebound will go to Eastwood. So it looks like we're dealing with man-to-man on the inside. No good. The rebound will go to Aguirre for Rossford. As Hudelbrink missed. Just underway. Eastwood hosting Rossford. Could not hang on to it was Linthicum. So that'll be the first Rossford turnover. And we get another steal. On the break, Neese couldn't hang on to it. The save, Rossford missed the shot. The follow-up up and good by Hector Aguirre.
And Aguirre's a tough kid. I mean, that's a guy that we've seen the last couple of years. Good defensive player, really scrappy player. Kind of does the garbage work for the Bulldogs and always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Jumper by Noah Smith, going to dance on the rim. No good. The rebound to Nate Childress. Into the corner. Triple try, no good. And the rebound to the freshman Herzl.
That kid's been active so far, Norm. I mean, especially for a freshman, showing some great poise right now, a couple of rebounds, and sticking with this guy.
If you are a freshman and you're starting varsity, you got talent. I'll go out of bounds, and I believe Eastwood will retain.
Well, you mentioned, open 10-4 for Eastwood in league play last year. Rossford was 12-2. Big thing for Eagles tonight was just trying to limit their bigs and also limit Neese's touches on the outside.
Got a block underneath and a rebound Aguirre, and a good outlet. So the basket, no good, was Neese and drew the foul. Noah Smith going to pick up the foul.
Getting a chance to talk to Coach Wars for Rossford before the game, Norm, one thing he talked about was Ryan's leadership, how he really took over the Northview game, had 16 points in their opening win, 55-50 to start this year. The kid's been hanging tough really since he was a freshman, was on JV. We got to see him play in the last couple of years on varsity. It's been fun to watch, and Big shoes to fill now for Derek Mack and Mac Miller for Ryan Neese and Eric Davis in the backcourt for Rossford.
All right, Neese hit the first and now the second. And it's a 4-0 Rossford lead. Little three-quarter court pressure. Eastwood will get it across into the paint. Rolls around the rim and falls for Zach Jacoby.
Real versatile big man for these guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him play this year.
(4-2) Rossford with the lead. McGuire on the drive, lost the handle. Taken away. Still a scramble for it. Rossford going to get it back, and it looks like, I'm not sure if we got a foul or just out of bounds. I think it's a foul. Jacoby will pick up the foul for Eastwood. So they will trade turnovers. Three-pointer off the mark, and we got an offensive foul. Dakota Sinclair slipped in on us for Rossford, took the triple.
Well, he's another one of those scrappy players for the Bulldogs, Norm. That's a guy who gave him a lot of good minutes last year, had a couple of big games, especially late in the season against the Lake Flyers. That's a young fella that's going to be good in this program for the next couple of years.
Eric Davis got the foul. From the corner, Jacoby no. Rebound, Nate Childress. Drive underneath and back on out. Another triple try. No good. Rebound, Jacoby. Off the knees miss. Almost a steal, but they're going to call a reaching foul on Aguirre.
You know, both coaches talked about, I asked them, you know, what they liked about their teams this year. Really like how their guys play well together and how they play tough. For Rossford tonight, the biggest thing they're looking for to keep Eastwood off the boards and out of the paint, especially if you've seen so far the early activity down low inside of 15 feet for the Eagles, and also not get caught trailing because these guys will get out in transition and hurt you.
Eastwood, your winner in the JV game, 47-41. In a very entertaining game. Three-pointer, Noah Smith, no good. Sinclair with the rebound for Rossford. Triple try, good. Eric Davis.
He's another one of those guys that hustles, really good defensive player. That was kind of his role the last couple of years, get his shot when he could. And he's going to have to step up big time this year with Derek Mack and Mac Miller. Having gone to graduation, they're a great dynamic duo the last few years known for this Bulldogs team. But Eric Davis was a heck of a football player. We had a chance to do a couple of those games this year. And it's going to be fun to watch his offensive development this year for the Bulldogs.
So on the possession arrow, Rossford will get the basketball. Oh, look at that acrobatic shot by Eric Davis.
Nice backdoor cut, nice feed. And the little reverse finger roll. I love it, young fella.
And 9-2, Rossford with the lead. Aguirre going to pick up the foul, his second. And one thing that's always big when you get into league play is holding home court. And anytime you can go on the road, and the Northern Buckeye Conference is a terrific conference, you can go on the road and get a win. Boy, does that give you an advantage as the season rolls out.
Absolutely. You know, and both of these teams last year were so talented.
Jacoby fouled on the way to the basket.
You look at the home Eagles, 18-7 overall last year. Coach Routson now in his third year out here at Eastwood and really does a good job. His guys seem to always love playing for him and play hard for him. Lost a couple of key players from last year, but this young fella, I'm sure they're going to be expecting big things out of him in Pemberville this year, and so far tonight he's shown what he can do.
Sinclair with the foul, Jacoby with the first free throw good. Nick Kaufman checks in for Eastwood, a 5'10 junior. (9-3), Rossford with the early lead, 3:44 to go to first. Second one good by Jacoby. He has all 4 Eastwood points. Matt Fierst into the game, number 15, a 5'10 sophomore, with the basketball.
Kid can handle the ball really well. Got a chance to see him a few times in the younger JV games before the varsity games out at Rossford. Has a really good handle, good full court vision.
And a foul before the shot. Foul will be on Hoodelbrink, his first. Bulldogs to inbound and steal. Good anticipation by Noah Smith. (9-4). Rossford with the lead. Jacoby had caught and then stopped. And Childress was the one that knocked it out of bounds, so Eastwood will keep it.
Well, Childress had that foot injury that sidelined him, unfortunately, for most of the football season. The University of Toledo Rockets commit for football. They've kind of taken it easy with him, but the last couple of weeks he's starting to hit his stride a little bit, according to Coach Vorse, and really starting to get back at full strength.
Nice move, nice shot on the fly. Noah Smith. A lot of coaches will tell you they like their big guys playing basketball because it helps them with their feet. You know, make them quicker. Childress. Baseline pass and back out. Jumper no good. Look at Eric Davis in there, but he missed the putback. Out of bounds, who's going to get it? Well, apparently it's going to be Eastwood.
A little talking going on right now between Noah Smith and Nate Childress. I like it going up the floor. I'm sure that was a case of the younger guard kind of looking at the big fella and saying, "Where were you on that rebound, sir?"
I like the big guys in the inside have a little attitude.
I like it when the guards have the guts, too, to go at the big fellas like that.
Nice head fake, baseline jumper too long, though. Rebound will go to Sauter. Double team in some trouble. That was a terrible angle on the shot. Rebound Jacoby. Nice block and a takeaway. Davis with the outlet. To the basket. Knees got it and a foul.
Neese right there just did a move that is very hard to pull off at the high school level. Faking the behind-the-back pass and freezing the defender just for a second, enough to get the space he needed for the layup. A guy who does that at the pro level better than anybody right now is Rajon Rondo, and Neese just busted it out there in transition. And there's some of that leadership that you talk about, especially right now, holding on to a 5-point lead. That was a heck of a move right there from Ryan Neese going up the floor.
Well, that's the second foul, too, on Jacoby. One of the bigs, and he'll have to sit down. Neese with a free throw, he's got 5, and the Rossford lead is 12-6. Minute 38 to go in the first.
6.7 points per game last year, Norm, 2 assists per game. You know, this is a guy who got a lot of big minutes last year for the Bulldogs and really will be the floor general this year in place of Derek Mack and Mac Miller, who are the 2 good guards. Great scorers, great tandem for the Bulldogs.
There's that backdoor cut again, but missing was Jacoby. And the rebound to Jeff Hodak, who's into the game. 6'7" junior for Rossford. Foul line jumper, that's no good. Nice offensive board, but Nick Stowers stepped on the line. Stowers, 6'2" juniors into the game.
Yeah, 4 turnovers by my count so far for both teams here early on. You know, you expect that early in the season, Norm, especially at the high school level. In the NBC, starting the conference play the way they are, but both teams playing extremely hard at both ends of the floor right now. For Eastwood, I think it's just a matter of trying to establish some continuity offensively against the bigs of Rossford.
See who that foul's on. They called that on Hodak. I don't like the call. No, they're going to call it on Stowers.
Well, it almost looked from our angle it could have been a travel.
Chip away and a turnover. To the basket, good.
He's going to be the next in line of really good guards the last few years that we've seen out at Rossford is Matt Fierce. Great court vision, as I mentioned earlier. Gets up and down the floor very quickly, Norm, and has a great handle and really a lot of poise for being a young player.
Under a half minute to go in the quarter. 14-6, Rossford the early lead. Work of the motion offense. And another turnover. On the run to the basket, got it, a foul. Matt Fierce.
He might be one of the quickest guards that they've had in a while. Derek Mack and Mac Miller were great players as far as the ball handling, great scorers. They were heat check guys. They could fire off 10, 15 points in a row. But as far as getting up and down the floor and going baseline to baseline, Fierce is going to be one of the quickest players that you'll see the next couple of years at Rossford and in the NBC. I'm really excited to see this young fella develop.
Well, Noah Smith got his second foul. He'll have to sit down with 6.2 to go in the quarter. Free throw no good. The rebound to Fierce. From the corner, no good. And we're at the end of one. 16-6, Rossford with the lead over Eastwood. We'll be back for the second quarter coming up on the Toledo Sports Network at CW13.
I'll get these in the second too. I got you.
I missed the basket. Fierce, okay. That was one of them. They never posted it. He still got 0 on him.
Yeah, and I had, I guess the rebounds aren't too crazy. We can catch up on that, but I just made a tally too. But thanks for this. This is healthy or helpful.
I do have a turnover column right here.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
It's just my own system. I don't expect anybody else to do it. Never had a color guy that did stats, so. Back we are in Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Norm Waymer, Mike Bauman, glad to have you with us tonight. Rossford a 16-6 quarter. Start things off, Eastwood down 10 at home.
Well, the transition game, I thought, really at the end of the first quarter, Norm. He had a couple of big back buckets from Fierce towards the end of the quarter. Ryan Neese making a heck of a play, getting the and one. And right now, it's just nothing doing inside for the Eagles.
Well, the freshman got in the timbers and threw it away. Loose ball foul, I think. On Orcutt.
Well, both of these teams are physical. You know, Brian Vor's teams, especially defensively, they get after it. They have great on-the-ball defense. It's going to be interesting to see how the season goes along. We've heard from a few different people that the hand-checking is going to be really brought down this year. It's going to be extremely limited. They're going to take away some of that from the kids. But these are two tough physical teams.
Three-pointer. Stowers no good. Weak side rebound, Herzl. Spin move, top of the circle. Herzl had nowhere to go. Brennan Seifert into the game. 5'11 senior. He's number 5 for Eastwood. And threw it away in a nice steal. Good anticipation. Knees to the basket. Couldn't get it to go. The rebound, Seifert. To the basket and in. Goes Fierce. Back the other way.
There's that transition game. It's starting to heat up a little bit. And that's what it's going to take for Eastwood. Get a couple of baskets, get their confidence under them a little bit, string together a couple of good possessions, and be right back in this one. because right now the ball control has not been on their side. And give credit to the Rossford defense. They have active hands. They've got size inside. It makes it difficult for the offense to establish that continuity. But you just got to have crisp passes and not hang on to the ball long against these guys because they'll start to clamp down and suffocate you.
Well, early in the season, it's often a little choppy, a little messy sometimes. And you cannot keep costing yourself possessions the way Eastwood's doing so far. Throw in the backcourt, Rossford will give it back.
And right now, Rossford, the same thing offensively in the half-court set. And as you mentioned, you know, it's going to be a little choppy in the early goings. But I really think with the activity of both teams, you got to just try to make the passes more crisp. You know, Eastwood is sneaky long on the outside with their guards and their forwards. And it's another case of if you hold on to the ball too long, you give too much time for the defense to recover and get set.
Foul on knees, his first for Rossford. And it'll be a travel on Seifert. And another Eastwood turnover.
Yeah, I think they just got to settle down a little bit, work the ball around. They've got a pretty good motion offense set going in the early goings on a few possessions. And try to get some activity, especially on that backdoor cut on the inside. You see it right there from Davis.
Now Davis got tripped and fouled.
That looked like a backdoor oop situation right there. And that kid's tough. I mean, he's athletic. He's been tough since he was a sophomore. Like I said, a great defensive specialist for these guys. But as we saw on the football field this year, a playmaker.
We're into the 1-and-1, 17 foul on Eastwood. Davis, the front end is good.
Four for 5 by my count right now from the free throw line, too, for the Bulldogs.
Made them both.
I know, right as that came out of my mouth, I was like, I hope I'm not doing the announcer's jinx right now.
No, that's my job. 20-8, Rossford with the lead. I am the king of the announcer jinx. Three-pointer. Furtick, no good. Rebound for the Bulldogs and Stowers.
Well, it was a good open look, and eventually those will start to fall for the for the Eagles. Right now they're pressing a little bit because they're not getting the baskets.
Timeout, Rossford. Interesting spot for a timeout.
And when they take a timeout, it gives us an opportunity to say thanks to some of our great sponsors here on Toledo Sports Network. We want to give a shout out to IBEW Local 8, longtime sponsor of Toledo Sports Network. Also, UA Local 50, the pipe fitters and plumbers out there. Those guys have also been with us a long time, supporting what we do out here in the outlying areas of Northwest Ohio and the coverage we give you. Also, Big Apple Deli out on Woodville Road. All your favorite deli products for your next get-together. Very good stuff. And one of our new sponsors this year, SPL Outfitters. Make sure you give them a shout-out, too, and check those guys out. We really appreciate those guys coming on board here for basketball season on the Toledo Sports Network, Norm.
Can we tell everybody, too, that PCW is coming up at 11 o'clock tonight?
Yes, we can.
We're back.
It's been exciting so far. It's interesting to see that other side of you as an announcer come out, you know. It's kind of the little kid in you with the wrestling, and you do a great job. I love it.
Pass in. I think that should have been out of bounds. Rossford going to keep the ball. Jumper, Stowers got it.
Well, and that's the difference right now, and you can see it when you have a lead, even if the possession isn't the prettiest, the confidence is there right now for Rossford offensively because they have that lead, and it'll come with Eastwood. They just have to string together a couple of good possessions here. But once again, that is no easy task when you got big Nate Childress in the middle down there, and also you're getting some good minutes right now out of Ben Souter.
That fouls on Childress, his first, and the horn is stuck.
It's a beautiful sound, I gotta be honest. And you know, one group of people in the arena right now that are completely okay with that is the Eastwood student section. Having a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, they're going to have to shut the board down and reset it.
We'd also like to say thanks to First Federal Bank. Great to have them on board here at Toledo Sports Network. And if your business would like to help keep the pirate ship afloat with TSNW, make sure you give us a call at 419-514-1302. You can email the man, the myth, the legend in Northwest Ohio, Mike Jamison, at mike@ToledoSportsNetwork.com or ToledoSportsRadio.com. And we want to give a thanks again to Pub 51 out on Woodville Road. Great food, spirits, and fun, especially here out at the NBC.
Yes.
You know, this is a great area for those guys. It's kind of in a central location to all these schools out here. And really, Norm, I'm excited for this year because there's a lot of great storylines. You've got Eastwood coming off a pretty good year in the conference. You've got Rossford losing a couple of really good players, but still a lot of size down low. And then, of course, Coach Bowen, that group that he's got out there in Millbury with Lake, they seem to be the front runners right now. But it's going to be interesting to see how this year plays out in the NBC because there's a lot of playmakers spread throughout the conference.
And for advertisers, too, all these games on CW13, which is a young station, but absolutely terrific already. And on multiple cable outlets that these games reach nearly 1 million people in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. We cover just about everything.
Well, it's good to see the wrestling in Northwest Ohio. You've done a great job with that, in all honesty. It's another fun form of entertainment for people to come and check out, and you're doing it every week, and you've got the show every week, too, correct?
Yes,
every
we do.
single week.
Yes, we do.
With Mike Jamison.
But so if you help us out, you're able to sponsor so we can keep doing all these fun things and interesting programming for all the people in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan, and we'll get you on at a great price, and you'll help us keep going, and you'll get seen by a potential audience of nearly 1 million people. So.
Well, and games like this are what it's all about. You know, being able to come out here into a community like Prenderville, which has always been great to us. Great early season conference basketball, packed house. I mean, this is really what high school sports is all about right here. And we love being able to provide those games for Northwest Ohio. It's really a treat. And especially when you got two great coaches like Matt Routson and Brian Vorst, who have always been good to us. Always good about getting back with emails and stats and making sure we don't sound stupid on here. So I love coming out here.
People, the coaches, and they're always fantastic. They give so much of their time, and they give time to us on top of it, and we really appreciate that. So now, as we get back to things, Tim Hootelbrink to the line for Eastwood. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity. First one, good, and that's the arc you want to see at the free throw line.
Hey, you know what? Every time you go up to the free throw line, everybody says it's the freebies, you should always make them, but there is kind of more pressure because you're almost hyper-focused up there.
That one, though, not good. And rebound to Sinclair. So 22-9, Rossford with the 13-point lead. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. It'll go out of bounds. I think it was a lob.
It looked like it was a lob inside to the big fella, and that time just got away from him a little bit. And how about this young fella for Eastwood? Grant Herzl, a 5'7" freshman, really showing a lot of poise tonight. It's going to be interesting to see that matchup with Nice, an experienced veteran for this Rossford team.
Jumper rattles in by Nick Kaufman.
And that was one they really needed just for their confidence offensively to try to get some continuity going.
Baseline jumper good. That was Sauter.
He's another one of those guys that was fierce on the JV team. Always fun to watch him play, and so far shooting the ball with some confidence for the Bulldogs. I like what I'm seeing, but I also like what I'm seeing from Eastwood, Norm. So far here in the second quarter, they're looking like they're attacking the paint a little bit more, and that's what you want. When the shots aren't falling from the field goal range standpoint, you want to get to the line and try to hit to the freebies. So I like the aggressiveness that I'm seeing right now from the Eagles, especially from the freshmen getting up there.
Well, freshman Grant Herzl took it to Nate Childress and drew Childress's second foul. First one good.
You know, and when you look at the development, when you're a freshman and you're coming in at 14 years old, and you got to think a guy like Nate Childress is going to be suiting up on the defensive line next year for the Toledo Rockets. That takes some guts to go in there like that.
Sure does. Second one good as well. Eastwood really needs to try to, that's out of bounds, and Rossford will keep it. Eagles really would like to chip this down to single digits to something workable going into halftime. Rossford's defense has just been so good tonight. High post and they kick it to the corner. Davis with a drive, no good. Rebound Huddlebrink for Eastwood.
You know, and I like the good no call from the official that time because Davis tried to avoid the contact. The defender had his feet set, was a little bit of contact, but not enough to really call the foul, so I thought that was a good no call.
Another three-pointer. Kaufman, this time no good. Out of bounds, and it should go over to Rossford. You know what? You talk about defense, and one of the things that made that whole possession was that Rossford got back so well after the missed shot. Jumper, got it, rattled it in by Fierst. He's got 6. The lead is back to 12 with 2.5 to go.
Telling you, young fella can play, you know, and he gets up and down the floor so quickly, and you see his handle is already there for being a young player on this Rossford team. It's going to be a lot of fun to see his development this year.
Rossford bringing Hodak out high, so that leaves a little lane on the baseline.
Look at
and
Herzl.
Up and good.
Nice little floater from the young fella. I really like what I've seen from him so far.
Well,
Norm.
when the 6'7" Hodak came out, that left some room on the baseline. And Herzl, the freshman, with good anticipation to be able to connect those dots. Back to a 10-point lead, 26-16. Shot fake. Well, everybody peeled off. Denise missed the shot, and the rebound Herzl. And a steal. Fierst. Got fouled. Couldn't get it to go, but it'll go to the line for a pair.
He's really giving them some great minutes right now, and we've done a lot of NBC games over the years, and one of the best tandems we ever had the opportunity to see in the NBC was Derek Mack and Mac Miller. They were great players. Usually when you have two big scorers like that, Norm, especially at the high school level, it almost becomes a competition as far as who gets the shots, and it was always a feel with those two. So it's sure nice to see, if you're a Rossford fan, that you got a young fella like Fierce coming in and giving you good minutes or Fierce early in the season giving you these kind of minutes and being able to make up for some of that production.
Nees will check out. Stowers will come back in for Rossford. Also Eric Davis in. Hodak, Sauter. Fierce split the parries, gets 7. The lead is back to 11 for the Bulldogs. Minute and a half to go in the second. Look at Herzl. Left hand, couldn't get it to go. Rebound Stowers.
Well, and for Eastwood against New Regal in their first game, Norm, they trailed 33-31 at the half, but ended up winning 73-64. Jacoby had 24, Smith had 17, and Huddlebrink and Herzl both had 12. So it was
Stowers, floater, got it. And a steal. Missed it, the rebound Herzl.
So far tonight, though, I think just that you look at the bigs down low for Rossford, just really has Eastwood frustrated from a turnover standpoint. They just can't get anything going on the inside in the paint, and that's what's leading to a lot of these turnovers and a lot of these extra Rossford possessions. But at some point, the shots are going to start to fall for Eastwood, and Rossford so far tonight has had some issues taking care of the basketball. So in the third quarter, if Herzl keeps attacking the basket, they can knock down some shots from the outside and string together some possessions that are nice together real quick. This one could get back down into single digits for Eastwood.
Right a minute to go in the second. That's a 13-point Rossford lead. And I'm sure the Bulldogs would love to hold it for one. Eastwood really not coming out and attacking defensively. Now here's a little double. Out of bounds. Oh, and they say last touch by Eastwood.
You got Neese back in there now, and he's one you have to watch out for on the backside. Or is Coach Vorsch just going to give him the green light? And it looks like he might, just to hold and try to create something himself off the dribble. And he certainly can.
Down to 10 seconds. Neese with 7. Tried the back door, got picked off by Kaufman. Kaufman chucked a long 3, not going to count. And we're at the end of the half. (29-16). Rossford will take it into the break. We'll take a timeout and be back on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
For TV or internet? TV? You want to come back now? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, congratulations, Mrs. Smith, on winning this evening's Circle 50 and for donating it back to the Scholarship Foundation. Thank you very much.
Welcome back on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Norm Wamer along with Mike Bauman as we get ready for the third quarter in this battle in the Northern Buckeye Conference. The home team, the Eastwood Eagles, trailing 29-16 to the Rossford Bulldogs. One thing I noted from the numbers here, and we'll give you a few. Rossford 11 of 24 from the field, 46%. Eastwood 5 of 19 for just 26%. So much of that has to do with the interior defense of Rossford. 15 rebounds for Rossford, 10 for Eastwood, 3 on the offensive end for Rossford, and no offensive rebounds for Eastwood. So according to the numbers, there were no second chances for Eastwood in the first half.
Well, and that's a big thing, Norm, when you get a chance to look at Eastwood here in the second half, if they have the opportunity to try to get in the paint a little bit more and get some continuity going.
From the baseline, Eric Davis, a little jump hook. He's got 9, the lead is 15. Three-pointer, Jacoby, no. A foul underneath. Well, if the shots don't begin to fall for Eastwood, this game's going to be over.
Well, one thing they did well in the second quarter is get to the free throw line, and that's something they need to continue to do here as this second half progresses. You know, when you're not getting that shot to fall offensively, the more you can get to the charity stripe, the better, and get those opportunities. And they were 5 for 6 in the first half from the free throw line, so that's an area I think they need to continue to try to attack.
Not nearly enough, though. Now there's the steal. Herzl to the basket and got it. Well, he knew what to do when he got the turnover. Push it. If you push it, then the defense can't get set up. 31-18. Rattled it in from the baseline. Linthicum. Childress got his third foul. there early, and we'll see if that plays in. Nice backdoor cut to the basket and in, Zach Jacoby.
And you can already see these guys going in attack mode. Great look that time from the freshman again, Herzl, and on the backdoor cut, the big fella taking care of business.
And the defense forces a turnover. You know, Jacoby had the first 4 for Eastwood, and that was his first points since then.
Well, once again, you mentioned the inside pressure from the defense of Rossford with Childress down there. We just saw Marty Linthicum a few moments ago get his first bucket of the game. That kind of took him out of his comfort zone. But one thing he needs to do to stay active is continue to move offensively because he'll get the ball.
Kobe inside, but too far under. Back on out, three-pointer, Noah Smith. No good. Rebound Bulldogs. Well, you got 2 choices for Eastwood offensively. Looks like a reach-in foul on Hudelbrink. You got 2 choices. Either you're going to have to start making some threes, or you're going to have to take the ball to the basket and try to get the bigs in some foul trouble. It's one of the 2.
I like what I'm seeing so far from Herzl, though. The way he attacks the basket, controls the basketball. His tempo and his poise right now for being only a freshman is very, very good. And if he continues to try to set up his teammates the way he's doing, they'll get those chances.
All right, the foul was not on Hudelbrink. It was on Aguirre, so it ends up being a turnover, but then Eastwood's going to give it right back.
Yeah, it looks like we got a hold that time coming off the screen. So Rossford now is going to have an opportunity to get another extra possession here in this basketball game, but you're looking at 13 points right now, and the Bulldogs so far, turnovers have been an issue. It's in the teens right now for Rossford. That's something they have to keep an eye on with this 13-point lead, is to really value each and every possession and try to work it down low to the big fellas.
We got a push. I think that was before the shot. Because now Eastwood got Childress off the floor, but the other 2 big guys, Hodak and Linthicum, do not have a foul between them. Three-pointer. Got it. Eric Davis.
12 points now for that young fella, and really, I mean, taking charge offensively, Norm, in the backcourt for the Bulldogs.
Great equalizer in high school basketball is the triple. And now it's a 16-point Rossford lead. And if Eastwood's going to get back in this game, they're going to have to do it soon. Jacoby to Herzl. Tried to pass it inside, got knocked out. Davis tried to save it. Hit the top of the rim, top of the gym, and goes out of bounds.
And that's what Matt Routson's trying to tell the officials right now.
They gave that to Rossford. That was Davis that threw it behind his back. And I don't think Furtick touched it, to be honest.
And that's what the Eastwood sideline is upset about right now, is when Davis saved it. We saw it hit the roof, come back into play, and at that point it should have been out of play when it hit the roof.
I would think that would be a dead ball if it hit something in the ceiling.
And I think that's what they're going to discuss right now.
How often does that happen?
Exactly.
Been doing this for about 13, 14 years, and I can't recall seeing something like that hit the ceiling. And now Eastwood's going to get the ball back. And I think that's the right call. I like that when the officials get together and talk it over. We got father and son officials out there too. Herzl will get it into Jacoby. Herzl picked up his dribble, needs a little help. Jacoby, jumper? No. A rebound ripped down by Hodak. Boy, you just can't coach size.
You absolutely cannot, especially at this level, when you've got multiple guys like that on each team too. with Linthicum, Hodak, Childress, I mean, all of them down there for Rossford. And I think that's what's going to be interesting as the season plays on. When you look at Lake, they played small ball a lot last year, didn't really have a true big man, but they were fast, played up-tempo, and really could shoot the basketball.
Third on Hoodelbrink. Well, and Rossford, by having 3 guys that are pretty big, you can rotate 2 in at any time. Their own Parrish, McHale, and Walton. Yeah, I'm taking everybody 30 years back. Missed shot, offensive board. Davis no good. And then Kaufman with a rebound. Steele. Aguirre. Couldn't push it. They'll slow it down. Fierce to Aguirre. 3-pointer. Knees off the mark. Tried to save it. Couldn't do it. Eastwood will come up with the basketball.
Well, that time Neese got his feet set and got the rotation, but was kind of floating to his left as he stepped into that jumper. But the activity right now from Herzl, I just can't say enough about this young fellow for being a freshman. I mean, he's really driving the offensive confidence right now for the Eagles, and they're 1 or 2 big buckets away from getting this right back down into single digits.
Boy, and then when they bring Hodak up high.
Well, and for Eastwood right now, it's going to happen with continual ball movement. That's where they're going to get the touches. You saw it earlier in this quarter with Jacoby on the backdoor cut. It's not going to come on a guy sitting on the low block because there's just too much size and too much congestion down in there with Rossford's big guys.
Foul will be on Fierst, his first.
Say that 3 times fast.
That. As Aguirre came out. Oh, that's not what you meant. Okay. Bo's just got into the game and then got into trouble in the corner. As it ends up being Rossford basketball. And Eastwood needs every possession that they can get now.
Well, and those shots, once again, are just not falling right now, and that's a lot because of Rossford's activity defensively.
And Rossford now can be as deliberate as they want to be. Pass inside, but Sinclair couldn't hang on. And now starting to get a little sloppy here.
Well, and that's the one thing, if you're Vorst right now, you don't want to see out of your guys is the continuation of the turnovers right now in the teens, has been for a while for Rossford. With this 16-point lead, they've given Eastwood a lot of extra possessions.
3-pointer, got it. Nick Kaufman, his second triple tonight.
Only takes 1 or 2 and a turnover to change things around.
36-23, Rossford with the lead. 2:48 to go in the third. Got to get it inside of the big guy, Hodak. Got it.
Number 25, Jeff Hodak.
15-point Rossford lead. Rossford's led all night, and they get another turnover. Down low, ball on the floor, bodies on the floor. Bulldogs come away with it. Davis and a whistle away from the ball, 3 seconds.
Well, the opportunities are certainly there right now from a possession standpoint for the Eagles, Norm, but you even saw in the last possession, try to work off the top of the key right there, get the offense going, and Coda Sinclair, Eric Davis clogging up the middle and forcing a turnover by just having active hands away from the basketball. And that's something that really speaks to the fundamentals of the way these guys play defense, of always staying between your man and the ball and the basket and not taking your eye off the ball.
3-pointer, Herzl no good. Rebound Neese. To the basket, no. But Hodak will go to the line for a pair. And I think that foul is on Herzl.
Eastwood foul on number 4, Grant
Want to say thanks again to some of our great sponsors, IBEW Local 8, also UA Local 50 to Pipefitters and Plumbers, and Big Apple Deli out on Woodville Road. Get there for all of your favorite deli products for your next party or get-together. As well as SPL Outfitters in the Navarre Plaza next to BW3s. They've got great clothing for all your hard-working needs. One of our new sponsors here in Toledo Sports Network, and Pub 51 out on Woodville Road. All you NBC's folks, go check them out for great food. We're getting into football playoff time. If you're a Buckeyes fan, they got in there. Go check them out.
And if you haven't had a sandwich from the Big Apple Deli, then you haven't had a deli sandwich. 40-23 now as Hodak hit the pair, but going to pick up a foul, I believe.
And that time I like the aggressiveness there from the big fella. Jacoby's a big guy. He's got long arms, and he's a guy that's versatile. He can step out and knock down the three. As long as he continues to move around and try to get to the free throw line, not to sound like a broken record, but that's the way that Eastwood's going to chip away from this right now, because it's just been a rough night for them as far as shots falling offensively.
And you got to credit Rossford's defense. I mean, they have just gotten after it tonight. And they're forcing Eastwood to do some things I think they don't want to do. Jacoby with 8 as he hit them both. The lead is still 15 at 40-25. Nice pass to the open guy inside, but missed the bunny. Hodak missed the follow-up. And out of bounds will go to Eastwood.
And once again, you see the quickness of Fierce. Full court pressure right now from Eastwood as they try to generate more turnovers from the Bulldogs, create extra possessions. Fierce just blows right by the defender, gets up into the middle of the floor, and makes a heck of a pass down low. Didn't finish, but the court vision on that kid, I just love what he's doing right now.
Down to a minute 10 to go in the quarter. No good. Rebound Sauter. And we're going to get a timeout.
Brian Boer's not happy right now with the turnovers from his guys, especially with the 15-point lead. I want to give thanks again to First Federal Bank. Also, Mike Jameson, Creative Video Imagery. They provide music and sound and lighting, professional broadcasting video for parties, weddings, and more. Give him a call at 419-514-1302. And also, later tonight after our basketball broadcast, you can check Norm Waymer really channeling the wrestling with PCW. A lot of fun. We're into what, week 4 now for PCW?
Produced by Mike Jameson and Creative Video Imagery.
Is it week 4 now for wrestling?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Tickets are on sale, by the way, for the January 25th show.
Where can people find the ticks?
PCWExcitement.com. PCWExcitement.com. All the info you want. Good stocking stuffers. Out of bounds to Rossford. And I can't hang a ton of that on Eastwood's offense because Rossford is just making them do things they don't want to do. They've made it so difficult to try to get the ball inside. And we're going to get traveling at the top of the circle on Fierce.
Well, and this is such a tough matchup when you look at your second game of the season. Rossford's got 4 starters back and 6 letter winners back. Conversely, Eastwood's only got 1 returning starter from last year. They do have 5 letter winners back. So, this is a really tough situation for these guys to be in this early in the season. And they've had opportunities as far as possession goes. It's just going to take some time for the rhythm to get down. But the activity of Rossford, they just swarm to the basketball. You really have to be on your toes. If you're not the guy with the ball for Eastwood, you just got to continue to move and try to get open in this offense.
Try to get it inside. Hodak picked it off. Back the other way to the basket, up and good goes Stowers.
He's given them great minutes tonight. 8 points from the young fella. really has been getting back in transition on defense, hasn't been afraid to shoot offensively. It's been a lot of fun to watch him tonight.
42-25. Well, again, I'll reiterate what I said in the first half, is for Eastwood, you either got to start hitting three-pointers or you got to get the bigs in foul trouble, and they've done neither in this third quarter. Kaufman hit one triple. Now that's getting the ball inside and up and in by Orcutt.
Nice read that time from Orcutt. Also Noah Smith there on the assist.
Oh, they call a reach in on Bose.
At least I thought that was Noah Smith. It may have been Nick Hoffman on the assist that time. But either way, good wherewithal by Orcutt to just cut to the basket and get behind the defense, catch him looking at the basketball.
And if Rossford's going to pressure and bring the defense up high, then that'll leave the baseline open. Long pass into Hodak, and they didn't get it off. Oh, are we going to get a foul?
Looks like it was going to be a push off on Hodak there at the end to try to catch the oop.
It is a foul, but we're at the end of 3. And it's Rossford 42, Eastwood 27. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter here on the Toledo Sports Network at CW 13. Got our first PCW sale. All right. 47 bucks. Awesome. Just made my night. All right, here we go. Fourth quarter ready to go. Here at Eastwood High School on the Toledo Sports Network, CW 13. Norm Waymer, Mike Bauman. Second game of the season. I'm still not used to this. First league game in your second game of the season.
Yeah. Way different from football, you know, where you've got a little time to kind of warm up with a few non-conference opponents.
And look who's in the zone. As if Eastwood wasn't having enough problems trying to shoot from the outside and get the ball inside. Rossford's gone to the zone. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound Sauter. All the way down, Hodak up and in. Ran the floor well.
And even though they're big, that's one thing about this Bulldogs team is they can get out in transition, and they're looking to do that. Every time they get a defensive rebound, they're going to try to beat you to the other end of the floor and get those easy buckets, and that was executed to perfection that time.
And they get back defensively. And a turnover. From the corner, no good. Rebound goes to Furtick for Eastwood. Smith back in. Trying to drive baseline, got into the timbers. Good defense on the inside. Two bigs on the inside just stood there with their arms up. They played that terrifically defensively.
Well, and the officials, to their credit tonight, I think they called it pretty even. You know, I mean, other than the crazy ball hitting the top of the roof there. I mean, these guys have really done a good job of letting these guys play physical basketball. We haven't seen anybody on either side lose their cool. It's just been a great, fun, competitive game to watch.
On the inside, Sinclair with the basket. The Bulldogs are just doing what they want on the inside.
And those are his first points in the night, but defensively, he's been all over the place for Rossford, giving them a lot of quality minutes on the evening. And, you know, this young fella right here, Hoodelbrink, had a heck of a game against New Regal, but they've just been swarming him tonight.
On the break, to the basket, no good. But Hodak to tip it in, and we're going to get an Eastwood timeout. They've blown this open. 48-27. Rossford with the lead. We'll take a quick time and be back on the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
Up in Nord to send me about 3 or 4 pictures for a commercial I'm doing for him. Sent me like 40.
Oh, this just made my night.
Another one?
No, well, no, just the one. Back we are in the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13. 5:45 to go in the game. Rossford has scored the first 6 of the 4th quarter and blown this open to a 21-point lead.
Well, in the second quarter, I really thought the Eagles did a great job of kind of getting their their sea legs underneath them, rather, Norm. Really started attacking the basket. The young fella has had a great game tonight, Herzl, giving them a lot of quality minutes. They got to the free throw line, but you just see the activity of the Bulldogs just swarming defensively, and it has not allowed the Eagles to get into a rhythm all night long.
Kaufman no good. And once again, one shot and done. Saved in the corner, but Hodak couldn't hang on.
Well, and I think one thing, when you look back on this game, if you're Coach Routson, for the Eagles is just the number of turnovers, and some of that, a lot of that can be attributed to what the Bulldogs have done, but at the same time, when you give a team like this who's this experienced, has the type of size they have, you cannot give them extra possession after extra possession.
Three-pointer no good, but Jacoby with the rebound and the putback. And by my count, that's the second offensive rebound by Eastwood. Jacoby's got both of them.
And he's had to work real hard for all 10 of his points.
Look at that reverse up and in by Hodak, who by my count now has 10. And the lead back to 21 at 50-29. Well, I really like what I've seen on the Hodak tonight. Three-pointer no good. Jacoby with the offensive board and a foul. Hodak was not a starter coming in. And Childress got into some foul trouble. He got 3, and Childress never really came back.
10 points and 5 boards by my count for Hodak, and the wherewithal that time, nice pass from Fierce, I believe it was. And
I mean, how many teams in the Northern Buckeye Conference is going to bring a 6'7" kid off the bench?
Right.
I mean, that's few and far between, and I don't care what high school league you're in.
Well, what I like from Eastwood is there's potential on the perimeter. You look at the outside, Nick Kaufman's had a couple of big threes tonight. He's gotten open a few times. I really think Herzl handles the ball extremely well, playing wise beyond his years out there. And then you got the big fella down low and Jacoby who can go inside, outside, and they're not going to see this kind of size on a nightly basis. This is a very difficult matchup early in the year, but the potential is there offensively for Eastwood.
Jacoby made them both. He's got 12. Well, it's 50-31 Rossford, and now the Eagles are turning it up defensively here. They're trying to trap in the back court. Good ball movement by the Bulldogs. Into the corner, no good. Weak side rebound, Childress. To the free throw line. Fierce with the jumper, got it.
Nine points for that young fellow tonight.
The free throw line, no good. And Sinclair with the rebound. Oh, nice steal to the basket, laying it in. by Hoodelbrink, his first hoop of the night. 3.5 to go, 52-33. Rossford leading Eastwood.
And Hoodelbrink's an athletic kid, as you saw there. I mean, that kid can get up. He could slam it. Nice aggressiveness there, and they really clamped down on him tonight. But he's one of those guys that has potential to be a big part of this offense from a scoring standpoint because of his athleticism and his aggressiveness out there.
Free throw line and back out. Rossford just working their offense. They're not being intentionally deliberate. I think they're just running their normal offense. Well, teamed into the corner. And he threw it right to Furtick. Jacoby is trying to find Furtick down low. Got knocked out of bounds. Bose comes back in. Seifert comes in for Eastwood.
You know, and this is a type of game early in the season, Norm, that is a huge challenge, as we mentioned, for Eastwood. But this can really set the tone because at least if you're not getting buckets, if you're out there hustling and you're out there playing physical, the Eagles have done that all night tonight. They haven't rolled over for the Bulldogs. They've forced a lot of turnovers on Rossford's part, and that's something they can hang their hat on because, once again, they're not going to see this type of size and really this type of experience from a lot of the teams that they play this year. If they can take care of the basketball a little bit better, they're going to be a tough team in the NBC.
2:15 to go. And Rossford has led all night long. Spin move cut off, back out in the corner to Childress, and then back on out to Neese. Rarely do you see a game, Mike, where the home team has trailed all night long and really did not get a run to put the game in jeopardy. Now Jacoby with a steal, two-handed slam.
And that's a hustle I'm talking about right there. You know, that's what you want to see if you're Eastwood. When they look back at this game, they'll look at the turnovers, but when you continue to hustle like that, rebound the basketball, put pressure on the ball, and continue to be aggressive offensively, these guys play hard, and that was something that Coach Routson told me before this game is, you know, he didn't know with some of the guys that they lost how they were going to gel with some of the younger players coming in, and they've gelled extremely, extremely well, and they played really, really hard tonight.
It's one of the reasons I don't like a league game 2 games in, because Eastwood here, it looks like they just haven't found their identity yet. You know, who are you? What do you do well?
Well, and with basketball, too, it takes a little bit more time.
Sure.
Because it's a longer season. There's always going to be guys you're going to lose to graduation and younger guys you're going to work in, and that chemistry isn't something that happens overnight. No matter how much summer ball you play, it really takes time, and the only way you learn is through game experience.
But while you're trying to work it out, you've got a home loss in the conference.
Right. Well, one thing mission accomplished tonight for the most part was Coach Routson saying, you know, we know how good Neese is, and we really want to limit his touches. 5 points from Neese tonight, but as you've seen from the Bulldogs, the big fellas have picked it up. You've had Stowers come in and give you 8 points, having a really good game. You've had Fierce come in and give you 9 points, so they really clamped down on Neese, but Rossford, give them credit, their other younger players really stepped up tonight.
Sophomore Jacob Perry to the free throw line. First one good. Both teams in the bonus with 17 fouls. Second one good. 54-35 and a minute to go. Seifert, head fake. Lost it. Cooper Heck with the basketball, 5'7" sophomore into the game. Good penetration, pass a little behind Miller, but able to corral it and put it up and in. Jordan Miller, 6' junior. To the basket, no. Rebound Sinclair. And we're down to 17 seconds to go.
Well, I don't think any of these young fellas are going to have trouble sleeping tonight. This has been a up and down physical basketball game. Exciting. NBC opener for both teams. And then once again, always fun to come out here to Eastwood and Pemberville.
And there's the final horn. 56-35. Rossford gets the win on the road in the first game of the NBC. And led from start to finish.
Well, really just a great team effort all the way around. You look at the multitude of scorers they had. You had a Hodak, as you mentioned, Norm, coming off the bench, giving great production, double figures. And really what I like from Rossford is their young fellas stepping up. I mean, when you lose two dynamic scorers like Derek Mack and Mac Miller, that can really hurt a team. But as you see, Matt Fierce came in, gave you great minutes. You had Stowers give you great minutes. Ben Sauter playing good defense. Coda Sinclair. And on the flip side, once again, for Eastwood, they've got the size, they've got the speed. There's enough there to work with, but they just haven't found their identity yet, and this is a very tough challenge early in the season.
We'll grab a Rossford coach, Brian Forrest, when we come back. Rossford, your winner tonight, 56-35 over Eastwood. We'll be coming right back on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.